insights or pointers. I got people asking if insights or pointers are beneficial for the hypnosis to drop away or to snap out of hypnosis of belief that we are separate entity. What do we mean when we say separate entity? I sometimes call it a congested energy because the belief in separation gets fed in a way by the life events, and in a way it gets sticky, like as if there is a magnet here and it all sticks to that belief of me, belief of separate entity that is very important. So you might notice people argue on the streets, and they might just have a go at someone for no particular reason. Someone might look at them and they start arguing, why looking at me? Or they see someone on a push bike or on a scooter and they say, why are you doing this or doing that? Regardless of if anyone has done anything to them, it just makes them angry that someone is on a motorbike or on a scooter, or probably if there is a pedestrian crossing the road. So any reason for argument or for anger. And I can speak about this because I was there once myself. I would get triggered by anything. The thought and then the reaction would just arise like that. Now, seeing people doing the same, I can see the madness. And they might remind me of myself being unreasonable at times. But the ego, the self-centeredness, the separate me cannot see that because we don't know who we are. The me has confused itself for a body-mind idea. Yes, I am this body. Yes, I am the mind. But is it truly what I am? Yet, we see the problems everywhere else, but in here. It's everyone else's fault. Everything is someone else's fault, but never mine. You might watch, or you might have watched a movie, which is actually truly happening in reality if you ever went to a court. And if you had a jury duty, you watch murderer speaking, and murderer might say, you know, I'm a good person, but they triggered me. They made me angry. They did this to me. So I had to murder them. But I'm truly a good guy or a good woman. I'm a good person. And they truly believe it. A violent man that abuses the family, that tortures the family, might see themselves as a good husband and a good father. I don't do bad things. I don't cheat. This is how madness goes. And maybe if we put them on camera and record the behavior, the aggression, the violence, maybe the road rage, would they still say, I'm a good person? Anyway, some of us might have recognized that we had a problem and might have genuinely decided to have a look into ourselves and see where the problem sits. Maybe if we all looked into ourselves rather than looking outside, our problems would become more subtle and the blame wouldn't be as much as what it used to be. So if we went to ask for help, right, and we sincerely had a burning desire to break through that congested energy, so-called, would we need 100 pointers? Would we need hundreds of investigations? Would we need anything, or simply to be told that there is nothing to seek because nothing's missing? So, what pointer is needed if nothing has been lost, if nothing has been separate? I can speak for myself only because I don't know anyone else as well as I know myself, and no one knows me as well as they know themselves. But I'm not dismissing when people say, I needed no pointer. It just happened spontaneously as I walked and the wind blew and I've seen the leaves falling off and that was it. So some of us might have needed to see people because we did not know anything else. And we needed to hear probably that there was nothing wrong, that nothing was separate from us, that everything is just happening as it does, and that there is nothing wrong with anything. And we might hear that we do not need any practice for all that false sense of separate self to fall away, the idea of that separate sense of self. Even to say that, even when I say self, I feel it's wrong, because it's really unspeakable, something you cannot truly say without putting into a concept, turning into a concept. I've seen people truly going through pointers and having insights. But they're still suffering. I've actually seen people who went through the same insights as myself, and even much more profound insights than myself. When I think of that, it was in such a short time. Probably there was no time to have so many insights anyway. But somehow, as if something gets unscrewed and or that rope gets untightened, and it's never as tight again. It just gets more loose until bang, all of a sudden you just know it. You just know that you can't believe in the same concepts again, the same false ideas. And I'm not saying that you become special and that you know something. In fact, I trust only the humans who say that they do not know anything. And I know for the fact that no one knows the nothingness. We all know that which is. There is a knowable, knowing. Knowable is intellect. Knowing is prior to intellect. Intellect is limited. It's dualistic. Knowing or unknowing, whichever way you want to call it, is not dualistic. The knowing doesn't depend on me, but yet the less complex we make it, the less charged or congested this energy is, the easier it is. When something comes spontaneously through us by itself, and we are sort of pulled back, the way you watch the nature, birds moving, getting food, getting the basics. But the humans believe that happiness is in lots of goods. Happiness is becoming another title, or having more, or materialistic things, or even having more children or grandchildren. But the excitement lasts for a couple of hours or a couple of days or months, goes back to the old ways. I see people in everyday life who are not satisfied with anything. It's almost like a little child throwing tantrum. I want this. You might see people at work. I want this to change. I want this my way. And we go, okay, you can have it your way. Just shut up. And they might shut up for a couple of days. If you're lucky, then there will be something else. Oh, that one has done something to me. I don't want to do this. I want to do that. I want you to help me. I'm too busy. I want more money. Okay. Following morning, there is another thing. People, the mind, the me mind, the ego cannot be satisfied. It's a bottomless hole, bottomless barrel, bottomless basket. You can never fill it in to make it happy. But you can never force people to go and have a look unless they want to be helped themselves. You cannot take an egotistic person to someone and say, this person is going to fix you. I'll take you to the top guru, to a brand name guru who has 500,000 followers. And they can't help them. It's same with the seekers, it's no different. What is making people miserable is seeking. It's jumping around from one person to another, looking for something they have not lost yet. Because there are people out there presenting themselves as if they truly know something, as if they've lived in some unknowing, as if they cannot get hurt or that they cannot feel the pain. Well, step on their foot and see how they react. They might even slap you. Seekers do not hear this. There is no one that is higher than you. All these messengers, the famous ones, the sages and saints, they're just invention. Being called saint or sage is conceptual. A conceptual person has given a concept to someone. There's only one thing I can't understand, that these people who have snapped out of hypnosis still praise the same gurus, masters, whatever they like to call them, and they cling onto them. And clinging is a problem. Any clinging is a problem. You might be clinging to your lover, you might be clinging to your teacher or to your child. Clinging is suffering. It's hurting. It's a misery. If you truly have seen through hypnosis, would you really build up someone that high to say they're the only one that makes no mistakes when they speak, you know, and that there is no better than that one because they're the only sage. But I'm telling you one thing, you might meet these people that you truly love and adore, but you might not like them as a person because the old habits do not go away. Everything seems easier and more subtle, but the old habits remain. If we were hurt as a kid, that stuff somehow stays with us. It might be, you know, a bit lighter, wouldn't be sitting on our back as much, but that madness streak is still a bit there. So regardless if you call someone sage or saint, they're carrying the same shit. If they were violent, that violence will pop up. Maybe not as in the past, but it will. Or it will seem as in the past, even more. Who knows? You know, because there is no filter now. So whatever comes out comes with no filter. You don't pretend as much unless you want to steal the monies from the seekers and charge them for the meetings, because you tell them one day you might become like me if you listen to me. And if you do my retreats and my meditations, you might get where I am. But where are they? But here, now, wherever you are. So is there anywhere else but here and now? So what's difference? All of us, we have to earn money for living. Some do it easy way. Some are talented to make money easy. Some are not. We are all breathing. Our heart is beating. Our hair is growing. All by itself, as Alan Watts would say. And he would say that everything in nature is interconnected. Leaves are moving by itself. Your hair is growing by itself. And we are not separate from the nature. There is no one who can say, I'm not. There is no one who can say what their next thought is going to be. But we get involved with the thoughts, and some of us dwell in the past memory, depression. And some of us live in the future, anxiety, anticipation. We are often here, but we want to be there. You might just leave for work, and before you got on public transport, you want to be at work. So you might rush and you kill yourself running and rushing, wanting to be where you are not. Regardless how fast you run, you cannot escape what is. You can't escape this moment. And there is only this moment. Going back to insights and pointers. Again. No. Not a single insight is needed. or 100 insights. It's not like there are 100 insights and I'm going to get closer to my last insight to know who I am. But you'll never know who you are. You'll only know who you are not. No one has gone anywhere behind or beyond. So maybe instead of running to look for someone else's aliveness, maybe check out your own aliveness. Two people sitting next to each other with the same insights, with the same speaker, absolutely the same. One will come to understanding, one won't. Again, not many people, even after understanding, not many are patient enough to sit by themselves and live their lives. But they all rush to teach. Everyone wants to teach. And you really hear silly things because no one is patient enough to be with themselves and shut up and mature and live. Get wiser. Keep quiet. Live your life. Enjoy your life. Enjoy as if it's your last day on this earth, in that body. Simply live. I understand as at the moment we come to understanding, it feels high. You might have seen some videos, I'd say, of people who have just come to understanding. They're all fresh and they're glowing and their eyes are shining. They're all excited about it. And you might see the same person in, say, 5 years' time. All of a sudden, they're just serious. They're like ordinary. Did you ever notice that? Because that excitement passes. You get used to it, you know. And what could I say that is different from 7 years ago here? It's just ordinary aliveness and maybe noticing. Now there is noticing of that silliness of people and their behavior, the way I was once. Could be a bit wiser, but so many ordinary people who never looked into that stuff, they're just wise naturally as they get older. Yet most never get any wiser. In contrary, they get more crazy. I'm not sure if you've noticed that not many people who came to understanding have pushed their kids to do the same. Or maybe to a degree, but truly, I don't know if I would ever push my kid to look into this. I just love them like them to enjoy their life. I've said this from day one. And today, after 6, 7 years, I'm saying the same. And from 20 years ago, I said, yeah, probably I'd say the same. I just wish the life itself was more bearable, so I never had to have a look into this. So the less damage would have been done to this body. Because it always starts with psychological suffering that leaves mark on your body as well. And sometimes the damage is tiny, can be healed, and at other times it cannot be healed. And or there could be lots of pain in the body. And yes, there is such pain where mind feeds it and makes it worse. But at the same time, there is pain that is irrelevant of your mind. You might not think about it, but it's there. So you try to shake it off like a mosquito buzzing around you. And it's not pleasant. So you try to find the ways how to reduce that pain. Because I'm telling you this, no one enjoys their pain. Unless they're really crazy. You can hear that only from someone who's got no clue what they're talking about when they say, enjoy your pain. It's a person pretending to be a Buddha. Yes, we all have to serve what we are due to serve in our life. And have you ever made decision about seeking or not seeking? You can't stop people from seeking. I've heard people telling me the same thing, many people. Oh, so many have helped them. Such and such has helped me. Such and such. Whoever you mentioned, they all helped them. But they're still seeking. They don't even see it. This is what the mind does to us. We are blind to our own mind. It's pathetic, but we can't do anything about it. We can't help ourselves. So have I made a decision to look into this? If I truly could, I never would have. Never. The more I was saying I don't want to go this path, the life took me there. But at some stage, I was open enough to look back into myself and see where the problems, suffering, and everything was coming from, to heal it there from the root. What's the root? The belief I'm separate entity with some say in this life, but I'm not. I never had a say. I believed I did. And I like talking to people who do not pretend not to be in pain ever, or not to have troubles in their lives, or probably not having enough, or not having somewhere to live. Not many walk their talk, their staged talk. It's the stage talk, you know. Look behind the scenes and see how it truly is. I've heard some self-proclaimed saints saying, if you only help someone for 20 minutes or a couple of days, if you give them that happiness, you've done so much or whatever. I'd say, what a load of crap. You do not give happiness to anyone. No one can give you happiness. But these people are going in masses to see these so-proclaimed sages and saints. And they believe stuff they hear. And if someone writes a book from the ashram, they get persecuted. No one trusts them because there are people who know what's happening behind the scenes. There are no saints and sages. There are no miracles. Life is miracle itself. But you have no say in it. And there is no one, absolutely no one, who knows a miracle or who can bring you a miracle. You are a miracle the moment you were born into this world. When you started breathing spontaneously, walking spontaneously, talking spontaneously. And that was it pretty much. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to share in case someone wanted to hear it. Or if you don't. It's all good. You can't run away from yourself. Thank you. Peace.